Okay, there I've inserted the plate on the back. Right now I've just got it taped, and that way now I can measure off my templates here, which you can see lines up there, kind of, and there. And now you can see where the red will continue on and where the blue will continue on. So I'll mark those out, then we'll tape them off and then paint them, and then the decals, which I showed you earlier, will be superimposed onto that. So there you go. Well, it's coming together. And there we have it, all painted or taped off. And then I did my first coat, which is always the ugliest, but I just do it really thin and make sure I'm brushing away from the seam so it doesn't actually soak underneath the tape and blur the lines. So that's a little trick I learned. So very light coat, and then what that does is it actually seals the lines on the tape, and then you can go progressively heavier coats, which will get rid of all the blotchiness and make it a lot smoother if you're hand bombing it. I tried spray paint, but spray just gets everywhere, and so I'm thinking that hand bombing it will be better. I do have an airbrush, but I haven't figured out how to use the equipment yet, so maybe that'll be the next project as I go around. Alright, as you can see, I've cut out the first section, which coincides with the base lift out of that template. I printed out two just in case I botch it. And next is tilt, cancel, and filter slope. And as you can see, it's still wet because I just transferred the decal over. There's a little bit of schmeg on there. There we go. And we'll let that dry out. And as you see, I can have the crosshairs there to center it. And of course, the button covers that, so once it dries and everything, then I'll empty that, or I'll X-Acto that out. And it should look very good. So there's the base lift, and next comes the tilt. What I'll do is I'll get a little paper towel and just soak up the extra moisture there, just so it doesn't get all you can see there is a bit of a bump there, so we'll just smooth that out. There we go. Get the focus going on there, and you can see looks perfect. There you see it, the tilt, which will go right there. It's still on the paper that I just trimmed out because you don't want to have too much of that glossy background. And then we just put it in lukewarm water for about 30 seconds. That's a two-hand job, so I'm going to not film it. But you put it in, and what happens is right away it starts to coil. And then as the backing paper absorbs water, then it starts to uncoil and it flattens out. And I do about 35 seconds, and that's about the perfect amount of time. And then you pull it out, and then you wait about 10-15 seconds until it's fully soaked through, and then you'll find that it starts to slide off the paper real easy. And you just kind of line it up, and then you just slide it off the paper into the proper spot. So let's try this one. And there you have it. Tilt is in, base lift is in, and next is going to be the cancel, followed by the filter slope. I'll just record when I've completed both steps. There you have it. Filter slope, cancel, tilt, base, all in a row. Now we're going to let that thing dry. And then what we'll do, I just had to go grab this. We'll hit it with a layer or two of acrylic. And basically what that'll do is put a nice little layer over top of it. So then you don't accidentally peel the decal, which is quite kind of a delicate kind of a cellophane. So what it'll do is it'll put a nice layer on top and make it a little more durable for wear and tear. we'll probably put about 3 layers because it's obviously a place where finger controls go in. So you don't want it wearing out too soon and then having to do another repaint job. So let that dry out and hit it with some layers and we should be good to go.